I want to spend some time talking about tennis elbow and also a little bit about carpal tunnel. The things that will help tennis elbow will also help carpal tunnel. Now, we're going to spend some time rolling out those muscles that are adding to the problem, that are either a primary muscles involved or secondary muscles involved. And then we're going to work at strengthening some muscles that will help improve your range of motion, decrease your pain, and really just fix the problem where it starts instead of putting a Band-Aid on it. So we're going to start by rolling out and releasing everything across the top of the chest, the pecs, and then we're going to work on everything down the arm. Then we're going to strengthen some shoulder external rotators that are going to help balance out what's causing the problem. So there's a couple of options for rolling out the pecs. You can start with a small Pilates ball, and that's kind of a gentle way to roll out all the way from shoulder to shoulder across the front of the chest. But then after that, you're going to want to go kind of deep. And so I use a pair of grippy, very flexible, I use a yoga tune-up ball. Actually, I use them in pairs. But I do not like a lacrosse ball or even tennis balls because they don't have the right texture. So let's come down on the ground, and I'm just going to show you what that looks like. This is actually super down-regulating for the nervous system. It helps with a number of things, really get some flexibility into the rib cage, helps release the muscles that are holding the clavicle super tight. So I like to bring my arms out to the side, and we're just going to spend some time here taking a deep breath. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. You're going to draw the breath deep into your pelvis so that you feel it on the pelvic floor. And then you're going to inflate your rib cage so that you feel your ribs spread apart. And then you're going to exhale everything out. Now, when you do that, you're getting movement into the rib cage, which helps release those muscles so that they're changing lengths with your breath. That really feels good on the sternum, on the clavicle, and really on all of the rib cage. Now, after you've spent 2 or 3 minutes just doing some deep breathing, releasing all of those muscles, then bring the ball so that it's under, kind of in that space between the rib cage and the humerus, the head of the humerus. So again, we're just spending some time allowing the brain to map those muscles, allowing the breath and the movement of the rib cage with the breath to release the muscles and prepare for deeper work. So then, of course, you would move it over to the other side. Then I like to bring the smaller, more dense balls right into that space between the shoulders, between the head of the humerus and the rib cage, right into the pecs. And again, I like to bring my arms out to the side, and I'm going to spend a few breaths here just feeling the pressure into the muscles. Now, they could be very tender, and so give yourself some time to adjust to the pressure. Now, the first thing I like to do is bring my shoulder up closer to my ear and then pull it down. And that is cross-fibering the muscles of the pecs. Now, these are muscles that we tend to use and work a lot. They tend to be tight and short. They cause a lot of problems. when they're in that orientation. So then I like to run my shoulder through range of motion. So I'm going to bring my hand in back of my my palm facing up, and then I'm going to bring it out to the side, rotate so that my palm is down, and then come up over my head. And I'll do that a few times. Running the shoulder through range of motion, keeping my elbow high. Good. And then the muscle is really starting to warm up, so then I'm going to use the muscles actively and press them into the floor. Taking some deep breaths and really press the muscles into the balls. And now these muscles are really changing length here. They're also releasing. My brain is feeling okay about that. And I've spent some good time. And as these muscles are able to lengthen, then I can strengthen everything on the back that's going to hold the shoulder where it should. It's also going to allow the tissue to allow nerves to travel through well. Okay. Now, you will pause and do the other side. I'm just going to show you on one side and then take the time to do the other side. Now, the delts are an important piece of the puzzle of both tennis elbow and carpal tunnel. And then we're going to move further down the arm. I like to come on my side, and I'm placing, so I really, we've got a little bit of, mostly I'm on the middle part of my delt, but the ball does catch a little bit of the whole muscle. And this, I'm just going to roll up and down just a little bit and just feel what's going on with these muscles. They can be really tight. And I just want to make sure that the tissue here is adaptable. It's allowing, we're going to roll down a little bit. That can get a little more tender. And if it's painful, then you're just going to tighten the muscle, really, really engage it, and then release. And you can kind of do a little bit of cross fibering, moving back and forth. That can be also very tender. The more you do it, the better it's going to feel. So give yourself, a couple minutes to work through any tension that is being held there. Good. Okay, now we've done the front of the shoulder and we've done the delts. Now I'm going to show you how I like to roll out. So we've got to work on both the flexors and the extensors. I like to do them in a different way. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to have my thumb up and I'm going to set my elbow right between the balls. And I'm going to put a little bit of pressure here, and I'm going to so slowly, with quite a bit of pressure, roll down to my wrist. Now, this can also be really tender. The first time that I go down, I'm just putting pressure, direct pressure through the muscles. Clear to the wrist. And when I get to the wrist, I'm going to spend some time wiggling my fingers. Now, if carpal tunnel is your issue, you're going to spend a little bit of time here. These muscles have got to be released if you're going to decrease the, you might have to let off on the pressure a little bit, the inflammation that is causing so much trouble with the muscles going through the carpal tunnel. Okay, the next time I'm going to start at my elbow. Again, my thumb is up. I'm going to put pressure, but I'm going to rotate through as I go down. So I'm just going to rotate my elbow back and forth all the way down. And putting the appropriate pressure on the top of the arm. Okay. Now, then I like to take one ball out, and if you keep them out of sunlight, or light in general, and they stay grippy, which is really important for how this is going to work. So I am putting it right underneath my elbow here, and I'm going to add some pressure. Now my palm is facing down, and I'm going to hit some muscles that are going to talk to me. And when I do that, I'm going to really move my fingers slowly, randomly, and I'm going to work through that tenderness. Put the pressure that's appropriate down into the ball with that, with your other hand. Adjust as you need to. Good. So then you're going to do the top with the palm up. And again, just move your fingers, which allows the muscles to pop up and gives each of them some direct work. I use my hands a lot, probably too much, so this is really good work for me. And I'm going to just actually roll right over the top of my wrist. So I'm not stopping at the wrist, I'm going to go into the top of my hand. You can continue to move your fingers if you want. That's really, really great. Now I would do that a number of times, like half a dozen times on each side. On each side, you can move your wrist a little bit to kind of get into tissues in different directions. That helps a lot. And then after I've rolled all of the aspects of that forearm, I'm going to work on my thumbs. And the way that I like to do that, you can do them together just to warm them up, which feels good. And then I like to do them separately. So I am right into the space between my first and second digits. And I'm going to kind of roll around, but I'm putting most of the pressure through the pad of my thumb, which feels really, really good. You could even roll up towards your wrist. And that really releases any tension there. It feels really good. Okay. So we've rolled out all the aspects of our lower arm and our delt. We rolled out our pecs. Now you can spend some time rolling out your traps, and also, and I'll show you how I like to do that, also the muscle that goes from the tip of your scapula up to pretty much the base of your skull, C2 here. And that we just want to release so that we get it ready to do some work. So I like to, feels so good. I like to put the balls long ways, and you can just orient them to what feels good. And then I'm going to run my shoulder through range of motion. And if I find a spot that's like, oh dear, then I'm going to really engage the muscle into the ball and then release. And engage again and hold and release. And then I'm going to do it again as I have my arm in a different spot so the muscle is in a different length, and I'm going to engage it and then release. And I might spend, 2 or 3 minutes just rolling out this one muscle. Super effective, and it feels really good. Okay, so we're working on releasing the muscles that are causing a lot of these problems, but then you have some muscles that are very weak that are contributing to the problem. So it's important as you release the muscles to also strengthen the ones that support the muscles that are, it's kind of like counterbalance the muscles. They're like countering, holding them where they should be. If you don't have a strong counterbalance, then it's just a recipe for pain. So I like to take a stretchy band. You can decide what is an appropriate tension, and your thumbs are pointing in. And then without any spinal movement, this is all shoulders, I'm going to externally rotate my shoulders, so now my thumbs are pointing up. The important thing is there's no spinal movement here. It's important to do this in front of a mirror because it might surprise you that you are using your spine for this. So thumbs pointing in, externally rotate the shoulders, and come out. So you're using your abdominal muscles to keep your spine where it should be, in a neutral spot. And you're just eccentrically loading the pecs, just stretching them, and engaging the lats and the rhomboids between your shoulder blades. In fact, when you're out, you can really squeeze your shoulders together. That's going to strengthen everything on the back. That's going to provide a counterbalance to those muscles that are too tight and causing you pain. So working triceps, working lats, and working rhomboids are going to help balance those painful muscles out. Another super simple exercise that I like to do, you can do anywhere, is you're going to have your palms facing forward. You're going to bring your pinkies right into the hip insertion. And you're going to, again, no back extension here. You're just back's at a neutral spot, your core is engaged, and you're pressing the pinky into the hip. And you can press with a pretty good intensity. While you're doing it, pull your shoulders down, have the back of your neck long, and really engage. So I have lats engaged here, I have triceps very engaged here, and I have rhomboids engaged here. All the muscles that are going to help balance and counterbalance those muscles that are causing you so much pain. So just press here, really focus on those muscles that you're engaging. Your core is engaged to keep your spine neutral, and then shake it out. You'll be surprised what just such a simple exercise can do to hold your shoulders and support those muscles that are just tight and causing you carpal issues and elbow issues. Another thing that you can do every day is just making sure you're running your wrists through full range of motion. As you do that, you will find that there's part of the motion that's a little bit painful. So work through that and get that full range of motion, because that's going to help. You can add weight to that, just a pound or two to that range of motion, and that can also help, because then you're eccentrically loading the muscles that are, which is really an effective way to stretch. So you're eccentrically loading the really tight muscles, which is the most effective way to stretch. And then you're also concentrically loading the weaker ones. Really helps to balance out all of those muscles attaching to your digits and up to your elbow and shoulder. So super slow, full range of motion. It might surprise you that you also have more range of motion than just up and down in your elbow. So making sure you do have a lateral movement. This isn't coming from my wrist, it's coming from my elbow. So making sure you're getting a full range of motion in your elbow as well. Something that I like to do is if I hold right in back of my elbow and right in front and twist, that's a really great way to release muscles that can be causing you some issues. So work through that, and there's a very good chance that you're going to find your carpal issues and your elbow issues just go away. Thanks so much.